Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? So, I'm going to gather up a few of these bales over here so that they're out the way. Then we can see about buying our new shed that we're going to put in here. Now, I'm not quite sure where we're going to put it. We can, I mean, ideally, I kind of like to put it where those trees are, but we don't really have time now to chop all the trees down, remove stumps and everything else, so what we'll probably do, and then if we put the shed right in front of those trees, there's too much of a slope there, I feel. I don't think it's going to work out very well. Now, ideally, the situation for placing the shed is if we were to put it here at the bottom, we do have surface runoff to sort of take into account. Now, we want to store straw in this shed, and if we're putting it there, we would have to dig in some drainage or something like that. And it's also sort of plonked right in the middle of the field and is using it up. So, what I'm thinking is that we'll put it long ways along here somewhere. And I'm not actually sure which shed we're going to get. But before we do that, my weekly question. Next year, we will be upgrading all of this farm. We're going to be going for bigger machinery, bigger stuff, bigger things. It's going to be bigger and better, and it's going to be all new and shiny. To kind of look at two different aspects of agriculture all on the same map. So the options for the combine that we'll be using next year are the Rotselmash 760, which will have a 9-meter header, the Class Lexion 700 Big, which will have a 10.5-meter header, or the Fendt 9490X, which will again have a 10.5-meter header. So it's your vote, it's your game. Head in the comment section down below, let us know which one you want and why, and of course don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right hand corner. Now, we need to change this to square bales. There we go. And we've done lots and lots of loading of bales up until this point. I want to go to X to position load. We've done lots of loading of bales manually. We've been doing that sort of since the series begun. And a few people have said they want me to continue loading bales manually, but most people are now happy that I have paid sufficient tribute to loading bales manually that we don't need to keep doing it. We don't need to keep flogging the dead horse. We can just hurry up and get things done. So we're going to be using auto load from here on in, just because it's that little bit quicker. And the other reason that I want to use auto load is because I don't really want to be doing this on my sort of in my own time. I did have a lot of people suggest I do it the same way I've been doing it on Dowland. Well, I do it sometimes, I don't do it every time. Where I park the trailer up and then I get a loader and I take the bales to the trailer and it auto loads onto the trailer, sort of takes it from the loader. I decided against doing that here on the straw because we do kind of want to get a move on. We want to get things moving along nicely. So we want to buy a shed. That's going to be our next thing. Now I'm torn between using that one there. I don't want this one. I think that one's going to be a bit too big, the large storage shelter. The vehicle shelter here would be pretty good. You can sort of use this one nice and quickly, and it also fits quite well here on this end. I thought it would actually be really good if we could sort of put it across here like this. That one would work very well there. So that's one option, and then of course the other option is this shed here, and this one we also put down here. And I'm gonna have either I got to move it forward a bit so it's away from that tree there, or I could just move it along here just a fraction so it's more in the middle. We do have a bit of space down there. I think this could actually be the better option. I know that we then have to back our trailer into the shed in order to unload it and stuff, but for some reason I'm feeling this one more than I am the other one. I think this would actually go with the map a little bit better as well. So this is the one that we're going to use, I think. So if I just click and that one is placed. Now, are we going to regret this decision? It's really dug in. I was hoping it would sort of lift it up just a fraction. Maybe I should have moved it over that way a little bit more, because that is up an awful long way on this side. Right, that's 9,000. I'll tell you what, if we go into the garage, I think we will actually move that one along. I'm not happy with the placement of that one, and we've only just bought it. Oh, the Seasons mod doesn't allow you to sell it for the same price that you bought it when it's structures. It's only machinery. That's a bit of a shame. Right, so do we want to leave? Are we going to spend 4,500 in order to move it over this way by 3 feet? You know what? I think we will actually just leave it there. I think we can go. I think we'll live with it. I know it is a bit frustrating, but at the same time, even if we do move it down, it's still going to be sort of stuck half in the ground. So we're going to leave it exactly where it is. and we will go with that. So let's just start gathering up some more bales. The next test is going to be whether or not we can actually back the trailer into that shed properly. If we back the trailer in, obviously the bales are going to be sideways on, which is going to be another challenge for when we come to take the bales out again. But I think it's one that we can live with. We can certainly sort of work with that. It's not going to be any particular great hardship or anything like that. It's just going to be a bit of a challenge. So we come over here and we want 5 more bales. Once all the bales are loaded, I will stop racing around and I will unload onto the trailer and then strap down to do the final move with them. And then we can head back over to the shed and we can see how well we can unload these bales. Now, I could always unload the bales into the shed. Right, if I stop here, that's all of them. And I go Y to unload onto the trailer. And then I put the straps on. I think I actually prefer the slightly longer trailer. I've been using it a little bit on Dowland lately, and I'm really starting to appreciate the longer trailer. There's something quite appealing about it. It does work very nicely. But for some reason, this one does fit the map quite well. It's slightly smaller, and it does fit. There is that to it, at least. Now, could we put the bales in a line in front of the shed and then just get the... Oops, I didn't mean to do that. If we stop, sort of go along here like this, get the front loader and just bulldoze the bales in. Once we've unloaded them here... So I'm going to actually try that. I know that it's not the conventional way of doing things. We should actually be a little bit tidier. But like I've said before, we want to get a move on. We've only got 2 months left on this map, and then we're moving. We have a deadline, and that's the day of the DLC release. That is our deadline. So we are now sort of working against the clock for this one. So I want to do that side. Press Y to unload. And we'll go and get another load, and then we'll put those in front of them. And then we'll see how well the front loader, not the front loader, we'll use the JCB, we'll use the telehandler. We'll see how well that one can bulldoze those bales into the shed so that they're undercover. That's the only thing that we need, is they've got to be undercover so that they don't get rained on and we don't have any issues. Now, the standard game sheds that come with like the vanilla game, those do work with seasons. Those have got like the masks and everything, so you don't get the rain inside and the bales don't get spoiled. You do have to be careful with other modded sheds. Some of them do not have the appropriate masks, and if you stick all your bales in there and then they get rained on, you're going to lose them. All right, so it's just a word of warning. Don't take risks with the sheds. Get a test map, test it, and see if it works. Or do what I do. What I do is, if I'm unsure about something, I load up some creator mods so that I can fast forward time if I need to, and I jump onto the map, or I copy the map, and I jump onto the copy of the map just as it is right now, and go fast forward in time. I throw in the mods that I want to test, and then I see how they work and whether or not they will work or not. So I can you can also then get an idea for growth stages and things like that. If you're using the creator mods, the creator tools, where you can really fast forward time really super fast, just be warned that they can have a very screwy effect with the seasons, and not everything works as it should when you're fast forwarding. Usually it does now, though. It does. If you fast forward for a while, it will actually pause and it will sync the map after the time fast forward, which is a really good little feature. And I'm not sure if it's the time fast forward that's doing that or if it's actually the seasons that's doing that. Right, we want to unload onto the trailer, put the straps on, and we want to head back round to the shed. So we should only have one more load after this. So how many bales are we getting on? There's 18 bales that are on there. 18 bales plus we've had another, so that's 36, and then whatever we've got left for the next load. I don't think it will be any more than a trailer load. It'll be less than a trailer load. So 36 bales. At most we've got 40 bales. So 40 bales isn't bad. It'll keep us going for a little while, and then any more that we need after this, we will obviously be going to buy them rather than using them here. So I'm just going to park right there, and I'm going to take straps off, reload the bales and unload the bales. There we go. Right, they're not lining up beautifully. Oop, no, don't drive onto the neighbour's crop. You don't want to drive onto the neighbour's crop. They do get up. No, he just did it anyway. He's going to get upset if we do things like that. So let's come down along here. I'm going to bring the bales on the trailer up along this bumpy track for the last lot, just to see how they fair with once they're unloaded onto the trailer, see how they do with bouncing around on the rough ground. Is always, I like the way that the trailers respond with that. It does actually seem quite realistic. Now, when you're loading like this, when you're actually using the auto load, it's not the weight of the bales isn't taken into account. They're weightless as far as the trailer is concerned because of the way that the thing works. It's basically removing the bales from the game, and all you've got at the moment is a visual on the trailer, and then when you unload the trailer, it adds them back into the game. But it does it, look, when you exit the game with them loaded like this, it acts a little bit weirdly. It can do it a little bit strangely sometimes, and you don't get the correct reaction to, so you get some funny things going on. Well, that's all of the bales, isn't it? Is that one up there? No, I don't think it is. I'm hoping it's not. I'm looking over there. No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Right, so we've turned that one off. We want to unload onto the trailer, and we want to put the straps on. We've only got, so we've had 36 bales. We've got 42, 48, 49 bales all told. Yeah, 49. Didn't I say 40 bales? I actually meant to say 50 bales, didn't I? So 49 bales, that's not far out. And we come up through here. And I love the way that they do sort of rock around from side to side on the trailers. And in particular, I like the fact that these trailers can very easily tip over if you're not careful. That's one part of these trailers that I've always particularly liked with this game, is the fact that they can tip over. And now, when I do this, it's probably going to auto-load a few of those bales down beside me as well. It hasn't. I'm amazed. I'm not quite close enough for it to register them. Now, we've got the bales there. They're all done and they're ready to go. So we're going to bring this trailer up here, and we're just going to stop here. We'll be using this trailer again. When we do our baling of the hay, we're not going to use a round baler this time. We will be using the square baler, and we will go and buy the one that you all wanted me to buy. But before we can do that, we need to go and shove these bales in. And it's 5 o'clock in the evening. I'm actually thinking that it would be more appropriate if we were to not do this now. If we were to actually wait until later on in the day, and do this, start doing the mowing and everything tomorrow. So we just sort of overnight. And so let me unhitch this one. Now you've got to get out and press Q on there, and then you go back in, and then it will actually allow you to unload. It does it a little bit strangely on here. Not so strange that it doesn't work. It just does. It behaves in a slightly peculiar fashion. So let's just move that one in close there. Now if you come out and you go over and you press Q, that's, basically it primes it. Then you press Q again, and when you're in the cab, and it will then actually load it. This is to do with the manual attachment mod. So if I'm going to take 2 bales here. These 2 are just to feed to the cows because they don't have very much basic food at the moment. And if we run this in to them like that, there we go. Now we take a look at the cows. They've got straw is doing okay at the moment. Water is doing fine. Grass is low, but we'll squeeze a little bit more in a little while. Silage and hay is at 19,000. Once we have the silage here, once this is ready, we'll be then feeding this. This is at 57% fermentation, so it will be ready soon, just not quite yet. But we want to move these bales in, so we're just going to run down here and start bulldozing these up. And then we can stop for the night, I think. That's everything that we're going to need to do. We do need a bigger mixed feeder. The one that we've got at just 12,000 is too small, but I think that the pecan mixer is a bit too big, and that's something I have said previously that I would start trying to look for. Now, we're not going to be able to actually do this, are we? What I'm going to have to do is, this is going to get ugly, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to get very ugly. I'm going to have to literally just do it like this because I want to get these bales under cover, and I'm not too concerned at the moment with appearances. I just want to get them under cover. So let me do this so that you don't have to subject yourself to this horrific treatment of these bales. Okay, it's not pretty. And yes, I realise that the actual main horrific treatment was actually on the poor telehandler. But the bales are under cover. They're stored, and we've got room to put the hay in there beside them as soon as it's ready. So it's the thought that counts. And like we've sort of been over, and I've had so many responses about this in the comment section as well, that yes, we can kind of move things along a little bit in places because we don't want realism to the point where it sort of spoils the overall video. That's what a lot of people have raised concerns about, is they don't want to be watching loads and loads of manual loading, because we've seen loads of manual loading and we've got so many other things that we still need to do on the map. We've got the hay to make, and as soon as the hay is made, we've also got a massive amount of muck spreading to do. I mean, well, actually we don't have a huge amount. We've only got 100,000 litres of manure here. But we do also have a little bit of slurry as well that we can go and spread. So we've got that task to do, and that's a winter task. So we're not going to, I mean, we're on a timetable. We're on an actual timetable now. We've got to have everything done by 2 months' time. It doesn't matter what stage we're on this map. In 2 months' time, that will be it. It will be game over, and we'll be moving to South America. Quite why we moved to South America, I'm not quite sure yet. Give me some suggestions. Yesterday's episode, I haven't been able to read the comments because I'm recording this before yesterday's episode has gone live. So I would like to hear your suggestions. Yesterday's suggestions were, why are we getting €1 million? Today, I would like to hear backstory suggestions for why we will, on November the 14th, be moving to South America to start farming sugarcane. Because it's kind of an unusual move. Arable farming and, well, some mixed farm, arable and dairy, in Poland, rushing off to South America to start farming sugarcane. That is quite a difference. Now, we'll probably be doing some cows there as well, but I'm actually thinking that because we won't be using the seasons mod for the South American map, what we will be doing is we will use, we'll be doing pigs. So we'll be growing crops in order to feed pigs, and everything's going to be based around pigs again. I know we did that in Sosniovka, but I'd kind of like to do it again alongside sugarcane. That's not to say that it has to happen. We could do the cows. If enough people want us to do the cows, we could go and sort of do the cows again. I mean, because, you know, if we're moving from Poland here, we're experienced dairy farmers. So my suggestion for the move is, yes, they have plenty of experienced dairy farmers in South America. But they would like someone who's an experienced European dairy farmer to go to South America to, like, basically share ideas, because different people do things differently in different parts of the world. So we can learn from them, they can learn from us, and so new techniques and so on, and new styles of farming can be developed that will hopefully improve the quality of everything all around us. Now, is that a cow I can see over there? I'm not quite sure, but anyway, we want to skip the night. So that's kind of my idea for the backstory. As we're going there, it's kind of almost like an educational trip, as it were. 7,000 litres for milk and productivity on 55%. We really need to get our productivity for milk and everything else right back up to maximum again, because 7,000 euros for milk is not very good, especially in the autumn. We should be getting a better price than this. Let's come over to here. So we've got a pile of grass again, so we can put that in at least for the cows. Start up this little bad boy over here, get that one in, and what else have we got? So productivity is 55%, which means I think it's actually just, yeah, the grass is down and the power food is down. That one will need some by the end of the day. Those two will be good until tomorrow morning by the look of it. So let's just go through here. Now, there is a bale that I've dropped in here, and is a bale of straw. I can actually use that bale of straw. I'm still fast-forwarding time. I'm going to stop when it gets to about 8:30. As I feel the light then would be a good enough level that we can start doing our work. And it's not going to, like, appear as though it's really dark and dingy. And I don't really like it appearing dark and dingy on the map when we're trying to do our playthroughs. So let's just drop that down again, and there we go. So now we can go back down to 1x speed, and today is the day that we will be doing our mowing. And we don't have the necessary vehicle to run a butterfly mower. We could use the trailed mower and a front-mounted one. I've done that in Dowland Farm fairly recently, but I'm actually thinking that we will go for the Krone. I think we could have more fun going with the Krone. Kind of, it's an unusual choice in a place like this, but I still feel that we could do it. We could get away with it because, you know, some contractors have some very big gear if they're going to cover a lot of different farms. So we could sort of, that would be the reason that we're doing it. I was told that this silage clamp looks extremely messy, and I'm inclined to agree. It does look extremely messy here. We didn't do the best job when we flattened it down with that massive, great big bulldozer. I think maybe we could have run over it a few more times. Still, never mind. Right, next job. We need to move straight on with the mowing. So we want to go through, where are the mowers? Windrowers, loading wagons. Ah, there we go. There we go. The Krone. Now, so we've got these here. At the moment, we've got the Class Disco Plus, and we could put a front mower on as well. And it does do a reasonable cut. You've got 3 meters there. Plus, you've got the 3 meters for that one as well, which is a reasonable cut. But this one here, this one cuts 13.5 meters. So we're going to lease this one. 15,000 euros to lease it. We're not going to be upgrading that. We're not putting any attaches on the back. Some people have suggested I can put a turner on the back and immediately turn it. I'm not going to do that. That's not going to happen. We can't. The only thing with this one is we cannot leave it out on the ground. We just want everything exactly as it is. So we want to lease. Yes. You can't leave it like flat on the ground. It does have to stay rowed up, which is a little bit of a problem. Now, I could have changed the color to go with the John Deere colors that I normally run on this map, which is what I said that I would do back when we started this map. However, the reason I haven't is because of the massive cost. Now, I'm going to have a quick drink a minute and get this one over to the grass fields, and then we can make a start. Okay, so realistically, we have got one of the biggest mowers in the world about ready to get started on this map. So let's unfold. Unfolds that massive great bit on the back, and you cannot turn off the swathing on it, because if you turn the swathing off, what it was doing, it was like generating a load of grass out of nowhere, piling it all up. And so for the latest edition of this one, they removed that. I will try to remember to include a link in the description down below for... You don't own this field. Yes, I do. For this machine, I do have a link somewhere, and hopefully it should all work fine. But yeah, if you turned the swathing off and you just had it being spread out, it would just generate a massive, great big pile of grass out of nowhere, which, as you can imagine, is very unrealistic, and a lot of people didn't like it. So that particular thing was removed, and I don't know what the bug was, but there was something from the creator who said that it might not be coming back. They might not even be able to add it back in because of the issues that they were having with it. But anyway, it doesn't really matter, because what we can do is we can just run along the row, and we could even do this with like the what's the tedder that's called? The hay bob. We could even do this with a hay bob. That might be wide enough to completely gather up this windrow and then kick it out behind us. At least that's what I'm kind of hoping. Although, no, it doesn't actually matter. It doesn't matter which one we use, because even though we've got really small ones, they will cover this. They will fit perfectly over these windrows, which is going to make turning it into hay a little bit easier. It's not realistic, and I will grant you that, and this is supposed to be a realistic series, and it's not particularly realistic, but I wanted to find a way to do this hay really quickly and efficiently so that we're not spending ages messing around with doing hay again, because we've only literally just finished doing the hay, like only a couple episodes before we started doing the silage and the harvest. So yeah, I'm well aware of the fact that we've only just done this, and I don't want to be constantly repeating tasks over and over. We want to add in some variation, so that is why we are doing this. And it's just unfortunate that we do have to leave this in a windrow, but nevertheless, it does look pretty cool. It is pretty awesome that we've got this thing coming. I mean, I realise that we're spending 15,000 euros for the privilege of having this done in record time, and no farmer in the world is going to spend that kind of money to get a job done, this kind of job done, quickly, right? You don't need to spend that kind of money in order to save a few hours of work, because that's literally what we're saving on this, is a few hours. We're not saving any more than that at all. It's literally a few hours. But when it comes to actually doing a recording, a few hours is a very, very long time, because I've either got to do it when you're not watching, or you've all got to watch it, and as you've only just seen me doing this, you're probably not going to want to see it again. So, right, we need to go kind of slowly over this, because we don't want the mowers to jump up and down and leave strips, because it's quite rough on this piece here. And we can get round there. I've also got to remember where our grass fields are. We've got this one here, and we've got one over by the cows. We've got two over by the cows. I think that's all of it. I don't think... oh, no, there's one over there. There is one just the other side of the sheep area here. And that's the other thing in South America. We could do sheep. Now, as far as I know, though, sheep are not very common over there in South America. So doing sheep is probably less realistic than either of the other two options, doing cows or doing a pig farm. But at the same time, we need to sort of keep in mind that for the next time-lapse series, which, I mean, I realise that the time-lapse series is going to be quite a while before we get started on it, but I will be doing pigs on the next time-lapse series. That's one of the things that I am intending to do. We'll be moving from Dowland Farm, we'll be moving to Sandy Bay, and I've had people asking if I could play other ones. I think there's is it Upton Farm, is it? And West Coast, and there's a couple others that have come out. And I've been getting requests to play all these different maps, and a few people have said, oh, don't do Sandy Bay. Unless there's like some serious bugs with Sandy Bay that are going to prevent it. It is one that I've been wanting to do for quite a while, and I've been saying for quite a while now that we would go and do that one. So there's a lot of people that are looking forward to that particular series. So unless there's some good solid evidence that there's some like game-breaking bugs in the map, I will be doing Sandy Bay next. I can move on to other ones afterwards, obviously, because I will aim for my normal kind of length on the map. We'll play through until we feel that we've done most of what we want to accomplish on it, and my aim is for 44 episodes on the map. I did 44 episodes on Bjornholm, and I did 44 episodes on Goldcrest. The hard-working series after Bjornholm was cut short because of the release of FS17, and Rattlesnake Valley was cut short because of issues with my PC. Everything all went horribly wrong, so we weren't able to do either of those. Not for the full 44, but 44 seems like a good target to go for. I kind of like the idea of each one being 44 episodes long. Now, oh, maybe there wasn't another field, because that's the one with the fence around it, isn't it? And 35 and 30, they're other ones. So yeah, it's just these two, isn't it? Yeah, there weren't any more. There is a field there that we could go and buy, I suppose. Let's go and take a look at it and see if we do actually want to make another purchase. This is the big field. This is... no, it's not this one, is it? That's that field there. It's this one up here. Do we want to buy this great big field up here? Now, that is actually an interesting question. Do we want to buy this field? I mean, we go here. This is where it is. How much is it going to be? 310,000 euros. Okay, we're not going to buy that field today. We'll pass on that one today. So let's just turn this one off and fold it back up. We are going to be running out. Well, we're actually run out of time already. We're going to need to be wrapping this up. So what I'm going to do is I will finish doing the mowing in the next episode, because the mowing hasn't taken very long at all. It's been very, very quick. So I will do more mowing in the next episode. We've just got the two fields back down by the main yard. Now, I'm wondering what does this look like when you stick it into the mud? I love seeing how the machines look and react when you drive them into the mud. Just here, there's this little mud hole right here. It does look, it's very, very cool looking. And as they come under the trees. Okay, that's actually disappointing. That's genuinely disappointing. He didn't sink into the mud at all. Let's go about onto this next one. What's this one going to be like? When he comes down into here. Oh, that's a bit better. That's looking a bit better. I'll tell you what. Let's go back up like that. And I know that it's not actually showing any mowing, but I think that's still a pretty cool picture. So we'll use that one. On out of there. It's a very bouncy machine, and if you go in cab, I mean, the cab would be absolutely brilliant, except for the fact that you've got these mowers stuck up in the way, and then you can't see anything because of the mowers in front of you. I'm guessing that it is actually kind of realistic. Whoa! Oh, of course, this one's got an extra camera angle. You can see where you've been instead of where you're going. don't know if that's going to be particularly useful. At least not every time. But anyway, so my question for this week is, which combine would you like me to get? I'm going to park right here in the middle of the road so that I can show you. We want to go to here, and so next year on this map we're going to be upgrading our machinery. So do you want me to get the Rotselmash Torum 760? That one will come with a 9-meter header. We can go for the Class Lexion 700 Big. This one has a 10.5-meter header. Or we can go for the Fendt 9490X. This one is also with a 10.5-meter header. It's your vote, it's your game. Head in the comment section down below, let us know which one you want and why, and of course don't forget to actually cast your vote in at the top right hand corner. Remember, that is for what combine would you like me to use on this map next year. We're upgrading our machinery, we're also going to be combining several of our fields, so we're going to be making the fields bigger, we're going to be joining quite a few of them together in order to... Oh, actually I forgot, we need to have lights on as well, don't we, when we're travelling on the road in Poland. So yeah, we're going to be joining fields together. We're going to be generally upgrading everything on the farm so we can run 2 separate styles of agriculture in the same map. Year 1 is kind of small with older machinery, and then year 2 is bigger with bigger machinery. If you enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like, and if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. We will mow this field, that one over there, in the next episode, and then we will start turning the hay and probably rowing it up as well. I might do that on a straight follow me if I can get the right stuff. We'll TED and immediately row up. Not entirely realistic, but as we've got these big rows that we can follow, we can do it pretty quickly, and then we can get going with the baling pretty quick as well so that we can move things forward. So yeah, until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye and see you later.